Vittorio Te for the Chronicle. Two questions, one for each. Al, if you guys made the playoffs, would Cable still be here? And then, Hugh, what are you looking for in the defense? Obviously, you have an offensive background, but what are you looking for in your defense?
Go ahead, you.
Okay, this is what I'm looking for, that when the other team comes to the stadium, they worry about us hitting them as soon as they get off the bus. To be very honest with you, we're going to be very aggressive on defense. That's who we are. That's the Raider way. I know that's what Mike Waffle likes. I know that's what Kevin Ross likes. We're going to make sure that we go out on defense, and we're going to get teams stopped. I mean, that's who we are. We're physical, we're tough, we're aggressive, and we want to go out there every week and have an opportunity on defense to win the football game if we have to. And that's what we're going to be on defense.
No, the answer is no, no. When we get done with all the questions, we'll get into it, and I'll try to tell you why and what it is that asked me to find him. And he knew he was through, and he also knew how to go in the locker room and get the support, which is good. I think it's great for a coach to get support when you're leaving. I remember 2000, I'm not sure what year it was now, three of the players came to me, led by the minister, Napoleon Kaufman, who runs a church now. They wanted a guy to be the head coach, and I wasn't sure that I wanted to go in that direction. And that, I think, was the year 1998. And but I relented. I hired the line coach as the head coach because the players wanted him, and they were all excited. And he was a great coach. This guy was a great line coach. His name was Joe Bugle. And but those things, sometimes you relent, sometimes you don't. But this had no chance.
Al, Tim Kawakami, San Jose Mercury News.
Who is this?
This is Tim Kawakami, San Jose Mercury News. Yeah, I'm here. This is your sixth coach in 8 years. Mm-hmm. You're the one doing the hiring. That's a lot of coaches. Is this just a run of bad luck with coaching, or have you made some bad decisions? Is the process wrong?
I obviously didn't get some of them enough players to do a great job, but look at them. That's the one thing. For example, let me give you for instance, Tim. I hired David Harris. You know who David Harris is?
Not your head coach.
No, he's the head coach of the Stanford Cardinals.
David Shaw. Yeah.
David Shaw. He was 2 years. For 2 years, he worked for us. I hired Jim Harbaugh, who had never been a coach anywhere. For 2 years, he worked for us as the coordinator. I hired John Fox. He was 2 years the coordinator here, and he's the head coach. After failing in Carolina, he's the head coach at Denver. I have made mistakes, yes. There's no question about it, and you got to have great players. But you also sometimes have the players and don't get it done. So you're saying, should I take some of the blame? I certainly do. You guys give it to me. So you want me to get it from my wife? I do get it from her. You're laughing. She was used to winning.
Hugh, obviously, you
your name and affiliation.
Jack Deep Dillon with the Stockton Record. You obviously went to UOP and got your coaching start there. Kind of take me back to that time frame in your era, what you remember about it, and how it kind of shaped your offensive philosophy.
Well, back at UOP, I was recruited by Ed Donatel, who is now over in San Francisco as the secondary coach. And I went there and played there for 2 seasons and had a chance. The head coach at the time was Bob Cope. And Bob Cope has since deceased. And I got my start really there at UOP, and then Walt Harris came in as the head coach with none other than John Gruden. And the person that really shaped me in football is John Gruden. We were office mates. We're both young coaches, both young, aspiring coaches. We shared an office together, and John Gruden, I will never forget it, used to put me on the board at nighttime for 3 months straight, and we would talk football. that's where my start happened. And obviously, I've had an opportunity to work for some great coaches in this profession, you know, as I've worked my way up through the ranks. I mean, the Marty Schottenheimers, the Marvin Lewises, I mean, just to name a few guys I've had a chance to work for, John Harbaugh over in Baltimore. So that's kind of where it started for me, obviously at UOP. But every walk that I've had, whether it's been great or whether it's been not as good, has been very good for this opportunity. It's really prepared me to have an opportunity to lead an organization, to lead a group of men as we go out every Sunday to go try to win football games.
Hugh, Ryan Leong with Metro Networks. You mentioned John Gruden. He's the one coach that's been here since the team returned to Oakland that's had the longest tenure and the most success. Mm-hmm. Given that this is your first head coaching job, I mean, are you kind of aware of what challenges you have ahead of you, knowing the high standards for the Raiders and for Mr. Davis?
Well, there's no question. I mean, my reality is winning and losing. I mean, that's the nature of my business, and I welcome that. I mean, I think, you know, when you get into this profession, that's really what it's all about. I mean, I'm here to be great. And I know we've talked about the coaches before me, and I have great respect for them. But they're not Hugh Jackson, okay? And I came here for one reason, is to come back and help restore the great tradition of the Oakland Raiders. And that's why I'm sitting here today. And I have one goal, and that's to get that done.
Bruce? Coach and also Mr. Davis, I'd like to get a thought from both. Bruce McGowan with Raiders Radio pre and post. Watching your team this last year, it was obvious that there was a lot more of an explosive possibility on offense. You doubled your point total. Can you talk a little bit about the offensive philosophy? And obviously there's more. It seems like the play calling is a little more daring. And Mr. Davis, can you talk a little bit about how that intrigued you and how that played into your decision to bring in Hugh? Because certainly you guys were scoring a lot more points and you were in most of the games.
Again, we have some very, very talented players here. And obviously, we're known as a team that can run. You know, we have the capability of putting ball in people's hands, be it Darren McFadden, Darius Hayward-Bay, Lewis Murphy, Jacoby Ford, I mean, even Chad Schillings. We have an opportunity to put the ball in those guys' hands, and they are very explosive athletes. And if you can create space for a player, and he's very confident and comfortable, he has a chance to make a play. And my goal is to take our players and always give them an opportunity to have success. So we build the system around our players. And obviously, we have a great emphasis of trying to push the ball down the field. We want to throw the ball down the field because we truly believe that we have those kind of athletes that can go make those plays. So that's going to always be a staple of who we are. We're going to always, every chance we get, if we can score on every play, we're going to try to score every play. We know that doesn't happen that way, but we have those kind of players. And we truly believe that if we continue to create this environment and just continue to get better week in and week out and work to get better, that this bully we're trying to build, we're going to build it.
Mr. Davis, can you just follow up on that? Because it intrigued me watching the way the Raiders were able to score so many points. Watching the way the Raiders were able to score so many points this year from the years past. That was kind of an attractive thing, certainly from your standpoint. I think that you liked about it. Play call.
Well, no, he said it best, but you got to score. I told you that. And when I see the Raiders getting in the end zone and using Marcel Reese, for example, for a 58-yard touchdown pass, using these guys the way they should be used. Jacoby isn't going to languish out there because we're running the ball zone by McFadden. Someone gave me credit for not giving up on him. Anybody who's watched him practice and all would say the guy's got greatness on him, but he's got to stay well. That's the problem with McFadden. If he stays well, we have greatness there. Bush is a little different type. He brings that toughness to it that the secondary, I don't want to challenge certain teams in this league, but by the third and fourth quarter, they don't want to tackle Bush in the secondary. They just don't want to. He's 250 pounds, power, speed, and so that's a plus for us. And we have Jacoby gives us something now. All these teams defer when they win the toss. And what I mean by defer is they say they'll kick off to you and they'll take the ball in the second half. They don't want to defer. they don't want to put the ball in the air to Jacoby Ford. And so it's a weapon. We got to use it. We got to do it better. We got 3, but we didn't find out about Jacoby, and that was something that bothered me. We knew about him, but we didn't use him for a long time until he became a factor. And he had to prove to us, not us get him, to prove to the teams we're playing that he can do it. You can't discount speed. You got to have it.
Fred Inglis, KTVU Channel 2. This is for you, Hugh, and Mr. Davis. But, Hugh, you were saying you talked a lot and that you enjoy being able to talk to who you call Coach Davis. What is it that you've most gleaned from him during those talks? And, Mr. Davis, what was it that you learned about him as a leader through this year?
The most that I learned from Coach Davis is the greatness of the Raiders and what it takes to really be a Raider, and that this is truly about winning. And that's what we're built on. Our whole foundation is winning and excellence in all that we do, whether it's our coaches, whether it's our players, on the field, off the field. We're going to try to do it the right way. When you can have talks with your boss, and he's talking not just about the peripheral of all the other stuff that goes on, but the actual X's and O's. I can go in and have a legitimate, we're going to run the off-tackle power play, and we're blocked down and kick out and draw up a front, and we can discuss it. I mean, honestly, that's unheard of. This is the first place I've been dealing with the owner where I can do that. There's nobody else I've ever had to draw anything on the board for. So that, to me, is special. So, Coach Davis, and that's why I call him Coach, because he can still talk football with me, whether it's the run game, pass game, special teams, it doesn't matter. He is he's my resource. And whenever I need to have something answered, I know that I can always call him on the phone and get the answer if I don't have it.
Okay. Same way, Mr. Davis, was there something that you saw this year in terms of Hugh's leadership, not just the X's and O's, but his ability to have a bigger picture and be a head coach and not just an offensive coordinator?
Well, I thought that he had excellent ability when I interviewed him last year, and that's when I hired him to be the offensive coordinator. And we watched what happened, and what happened is in the proof. The guy can get in the end zone. He's got to do it. He's got to get the players to get in there. He's got to win. And these things are not easy for a coach. He went to UOP. I got a kick out of that when I think of the guy who won 2 Super Bowls in this country from UOP, Tom Flores. And that's good background. I forgot about that, you. But I don't think it happens the way you do, you know. I say to you that he showed it. It manifested. He can bring me continuity. He can bring the Raiders continuity. He can bring the Raider Nation continuity. And he's got some things going that we're excited about.
Kim Coyle, CBS. This question is for Hugh and Mr. Davis. I know, Hugh, you've called yourself in the past an in-your-face kind of guy. You've gotten out there and mixed it up, trash-talking with the defense. Just Mr. Davis, getting your impressions of that during training camp and practice, and what has that done for your relationship, Hugh, with the defense?
Well, I guess what I try to do is try to get to know our football team. I was the offensive coordinator of this team, but I'm sure if you talked to a lot of our defensive players, I had just as good a relationship with a lot of them as some of our offensive players because I wanted to know our team. I think the key to any leadership is you got to get to know the players, and you got to know what makes them go. And for whatever reason, I've been blessed to have the opportunity to lead people. I truly believe in that. I think I'm here to lead these men and give them an opportunity to be great, and I'm excited about that.